and the little bald mank twat that is the shaven monkey known as Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Now, Rick, just a quick question, because if people have just stumbled across this, perhaps on the internet or on their TV channel, they're probably going to be a little bit alarmed by what you've said there. You've come straight in with little bald mank twat, and a lot of people don't know who that little bald mank twat is, so maybe you should clarify.
Well, I'm Ricky Gervais. You probably know me from such shows as The Office and Extras, cameos in the odd film. My long-term partner, not in that way, Stephen Merchant.
Not in that way. Stephen Merchant, yes, I was involved with some of those projects, but I've not been in a film.
And we met Karl when we went back to XFM as Conquering Heroes. We were let go when XFM changed hands, and then we did The Office, and then we came back, and we were big shots. No longer did we need to run the desk or press any buttons. So we were assigned, how can I put this, like a stupid lackey.
Yes, proper, probably the person who was lowest on the rung.
I'd have thought so.
Station.
They said, oh, give it to me, no one wants to work Saturdays.
The caretaker didn't work Saturdays, so they gave us Karl.
And we met Karl, and I was first struck by the roundness of his head, I'll be honest. I thought, this is a bald man, a little round-headed, bald freak of a man. He opened his mouth, he spoke funny. Actually, he spoke without opening his mouth. That was the second thing that struck me. He just had this slack-jawed gimpness about him. Words came out.
I think they get the idea now, anyway.
Was what?
Do you feel that was a balanced explanation of your meeting with us, or would you like to offer any extra detail there, Karl?
Well, with every meeting, there's a different story, isn't there? The way you sort of looked at me and thought, he's weird. I saw Steve. It was like a triangle. Ricky was looking at me, I was looking at you, thinking that's weird.
It seems a little unjust that I'm the. Why don't you have any go at Ricky for being fat and
just because?
Old?
No, I'm just saying on the first meeting.
Right.
It's like a museum, isn't it? Everybody rushes to the weird stuff first.
I love the fact that you're putting yourself firmly in that category as well, though. Oh, I love that. That's great. Like someone from Reservoir Dogs. Everyone looking at someone else.
But you don't feel that way about me anymore.
No, I've got used to it now. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying that whatever your accusations of weirdness were, they were unfounded.
It moves on, doesn't it? It's like anything. You get used to a look, don't you? I watch a lot of programmes on stuff that people have up with them, and
you only watch programmes about people that got something wrong with them. That is what you do. If ever you say, "Did you see that thing last night?" It's going to be something like the kid who was born with too many legs, or the baby with an arse for a head. It's always going to be stuff like that.
It's like there was a programme on a bit back about a fella who had a funny head and what have you, and he lived in a small village, and nobody double taked anymore because you get used to it, don't you?
What was up with his head?
Just had like it was sort of like the new Elephant Man. He'd sort of gone for that look.
He's gone for that look. And, what does he do in the morning? Just eat a bun, sort of shave?
It's just that's all I'm saying is people in his village. You want a big village. People are used to it, and they no longer stared. And that's what I'm saying with you.
But it's interesting that because you say you've acclimatised to my so-called weirdness. I don't know what weirdness that is. I've still not grasped that. But Ricky continues to... What?
It's just the eyes.
He's listening.
Why are you listening? So I've not had a go at you and you stupid round head like a orange. Which is the thing which perpetually entertains Ricky. Ricky is never acclimatised to you. Is that fair, Rick?
Yeah, I love it. I can't get enough of him. Because I see different things. Every time I look at Karl, sometimes I see like a completely sort of like spherical object. Right, like honestly, like some sort of pumpkin on Halloween. And then I see him, flat, straight
with
on.
A pumpkin, Rick, with a jack-o'-lantern outside someone's house, right? There is a certain light behind the eyes. Not with Karl.
And then sometimes he looks like a plate. Do you know what I mean? Like, like a clay plate that a child has made.
When they've made a face on the plate using their food.
Or a biscuit. Like one of those biscuits, novelty biscuits you can buy at your
you
birthday.
Can ice with a little smile into mine.
Yeah.
Karl, do you just want to have a dig at me? Because it's coming up to 2 o'clock, and you've not really put a lot of effort in today, slagging me off.
I don't do it on purpose.
No, he doesn't do it on purpose. He's just an honest northerner, and he can't lie. He's like George Washington, but without the wooden teeth.
Yeah.
I don't think your heart's in it anymore either, Karl.
I was alright today, but Steve's really dragged me down.
Well, let's.
Wait a minute, I just need to know why.
No, do you know, like,
Yeah.
when people are being miserable around you?
Yep.
I was full
Yep.
of beans when I came in.
Yep,
yeah.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
but you got to remember last week you were really miserable and that really wound me up.
Yeah, because he was having
So
to
it's
do
moving
stuff
around,
because you know he'd been let down and they were worried about
Yeah,
the
last
next
week you were in
show.
a terrible mood.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like you
the
were.
songs, I wasn't like going off and lying on the settee, looking ill, talking in that voice.
Oh, he's done you again.
I said, just now, being quite friendly. Yeah,
Carl,
Steve.
Carl, have you ever tried to get into the Monarch for free? Because I'll be honest, mate, it's not going to happen for you. Come out with me, mate. You got to quid off. All right.
Oh.
When you can get in places in Camden for free.
Yeah, I'm alright, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's done you. Do you not care about the job? I mean, I've got to ask because, you know what I mean, if I was in charge, I'd worry about your motivation or... Because yesterday we were trying to work out what you enjoyed doing, and we got to, Manchester United and moaning. And that is the two we came
I
up with.
don't know where you get the moaning thing
You're
from.
always whinging.
About what?
Everything.
When? When did I last have a moan?
Just before we came on air.
Right, and why was that?
I don't know, I can't remember. Because we
Well,
were in good mood, me and Rick.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because you brought a song in at 10 to 1
Yeah.
with a load of effing and jeffing in it.
Yeah.
And saying, can you edit this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's your job.
You could have brought it in yesterday.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I hadn't thought of it. But why are you whinging? That's your job. And I didn't come in 10 minutes before. It was a good 20 minutes before. It just took you ages because you were whinging and moaning to even get started.
How did you meet your girlfriend?
Through work.
What, through her work? What, you found out and said
We
you...
worked at the same place.
Oh, you're right.
You're quite an enigma, aren't you? Could you give us more on that?
At work, you met her at work. What, she came in selling sandwiches? She was going through the bins outside. What do you mean you met her
Why
at
are you
work?
having an attack on me? You're the
not
one
having an
who's
attack
sad and lonely.
Oh, he's done you again. He's done you
Yeah, but what
again.
I thought was interesting was I
No.
just scratched at him and he just went mental.
Yeah, no,
It's like a
but
bear caught in a trap.
it's funny, isn't it? You'll never learn. Carl.
No, I was just interested to find out what the story was because it might be a really romantic story.
Well, it's not.
All right, jeez. I love the fact he
I
doesn't
was
want to talk
thinking
about
you-
his love affair.
I was thinking about you in the week, and like, does it worry you? I mean, you sort of joke about it now, and we're talking about it in the office, you know, like, oh, is Steve really touchy about the way he looks? And
Oh, what's this? Where's that come from?
He's done it again. He's done you again.
I was walking home the other night, and I was thinking about it. And do you worry that when you're old, you will be on your own?
You did start it though, didn't you?
Well, Carl, I'm glad you brought this up. because I mean, for me, you know, a lightweight, frothy entertainment show on XFM on a Saturday afternoon is exactly the place where I want to discuss the desperate, lonely future that's inevitably coming my way.
Oh God! I'll tell you what will cheer you up and forget all that. A bit of embrace.
Oh, one of the most hated bands.
Do you know when I left the pub in a bit of a mood because I just fed up with not getting anything done?
Yeah.
Walking down the road, I was thinking, how can I get out of this? How can I stop having to work with them? I'm thinking, I wonder if I leave, I wonder if they'll be funny and they'll go, and then my boss will be giving me stick. I'm thinking, how much notice have I got to give out? And all this is going through my mind. I'm walking home and I got in, said to Suzanne, I'm sick of it. She's going, you need to do it when I get a new kitchen. And I was like, yeah, but how big does the kitchen need to be? I was saying, do we need a big kitchen? Can we get a small one? Have we got enough for a small kitchen? Do we need so many cupboards? Can we just have wood instead of steel? All this, try to get out of doing this.
Yeah. It's always just, I always feel like, you know, because I like to think that I'm not perhaps as bad as him.
Yeah,
You annoy me in different ways.
Like what? How does he annoy you?
Well, stuff that, you know, I come up with ideas, say Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
Rockbusters springs to mind.
Yeah.
15
I like
Taiwan.
15 Taiwan. Let's just remind people what 15 Taiwan was.
It was a little feature that I wanted to give a run, you know, give it a little run, see if people like it.
The premise being?
No, there's no premise. It's just a title.
No, we were going to get 15 sort of ornaments, you'd explain them, and then people would call up and say, that one's from Taiwan.
See? Carl, you just explained why I didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
explaining the good...
No,
by
you know the funny thing is, Steve, right, I was walking down Regent Street on Monday, walked past one of these big stores, right, and they've got all famous quotes on the windows, right, and one of them was something like, an absurd idea is often a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you know who said that?
Go on.
Einstein.
Yes.
Which made me wonder, If you were his mate, would he ever have done E = MC squared? Or would you have said, don't bother with that, it's not going to work? Because that's all you seem to do, everything I come up with, you put down.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing, he's negative, right? I don't know why he is. What else?
He messes me about, I get him concert tickets for stuff, and you say, oh, I didn't bother going.
Yeah, that is annoying.
You come in, you know, 5 minutes to go with tracks that need editing.
The little bag, that bag that was free.
Yeah, you got a free bag today, an XFM little rucksack thing. You were like, oh, what's this rubbish? Ricky said, I'll have it, they're great. You said, no, I want it.
Yeah.
Well, it was free, I needed it. I'll give that as a gift or something.
So, I mean, I think on reflection, Steve is probably a little bit more annoying than me.
I won't go that far. You are annoying. If I had to go away for a week somewhere, if it was a quiet place...
Well, you are again, aren't you? That's 2 holidays you had this year, I mean. If
it was a busy place, I'd probably go with you, because people, do you know what I mean, staring at me all the time and that, if I'm walking around with Steve. No, I'm just...
Can I draw up a list of reasons I don't like you, Karl?
Just being honest.
What? I'll tell you, because the list of reasons I don't like you is incredibly long. And getting longer.
Just saying.
Do you want another snack?
Been very quiet week. Been checking, I was looking in books last night and stuff.
Is there any monkey news?
I've got some, but just because it's not that good, something else I found out that I thought I'd share with you.
Go on.
I was looking in the Guinness Book of Records, right, because I thought they'll have something in there about monkeys or something, right? And there's a little monkey, I think it lives in Asia, right? There's loads of them live in Asia.
Might just be travelling, but yeah.
And something I found out, I don't know if they've got it right, and that's why I want to bring it up. Apparently, it's the mammal, right, that's got sort of the pointiest eyes that pop out of their head. Steve. Now, the thing is, right, I thought that's interesting.
Yeah.
Apparently it's the biggest with the sort of goggle eye type thing.
Right, yeah, go on.
Apparently they come out of their head 1.6 centimetres.
1.6 centimetres? What, you mean they protrude?
Yeah. They protrude from the head at 1.6.
Okay.
What, how long?
Have you got a ruler, Rick? 1.6.
He's having a go.
I'll tell you, I'd be a little bit annoyed if the monkeys beat me.
Well, I don't think it has.
That's what I'm hoping.
Is there anything we can... I mean, what's 1.6? Oh, can you...
It's about...
Drop your trousers.
It's, about 3/4 of an inch.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Have they got it right, or what?
Maybe I should come down to Monkey World with you next week.
So anyway, so that's not the monkey news, that's just something that cropped up, and...
Sure.
I do know once, when we were playing pool in the office, I think Lucy was your partner.
Yeah.
It was me and Ash versus you and Lucy, and you were having trouble because his glasses kept slipping down. So Lucy pushed his glasses up his nose, but the glasses touched his eye. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He started it.
Well, you're the one who joined in.
No, I know, and I feel bad now.
Yeah.
He makes me nervous when he goes, yeah. It's like, play a record.
No, I'm just trying to think about which part of your fat, middle-aged physique I can pick on.
The tits would be a good start.
Yeah.
Oh, the belly.
Sure.
Oh, what do you think of that?
Oh, that's... What is that?
I'd be there, waiting for...
By the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. So, a few more shows.
And
I hope Sony are happy. They should encourage, you know, we've only been radio, you know, a couple of years.
Exactly.
Trying.
You encourage young talent like you.
Yeah. Instead of giving it to Radio 1 and Radio 2 and...
The old war horses. We just had a quick email. I wonder if you could answer this. It's James from NW1. He says, Ricky, is Karl going to be on this week's show? Please let me know, as I may listen if he's not. Sadly, he is here. I mean, people are already turning against you, Karl, because they've seen what's happened.
Yeah.
I think they've probably realised that
I think we gave you too much. I think we've got a spoiled sort of kid in our hands. It's sort of like, you know, we knew how bad he was, but we were trying to sort of bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to encourage sort of, children like Karl.
Well, yeah, exactly.
To sort of fend for themselves. I like the fact that Dickie Anderson had that wonderful rant. I mean, it was an articulate email. It was quite long, and he must have typed it immediately. I'm thinking, because he's a fan of the show and he thinks I'm a genius, we need a PA.
Sure.
Don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you reckon he'd come and work for us?
Well, he can't be any worse than what we've already got.
I know.
You know.
So, there you go then, we're giving up radio. We're gonna concentrate on television. Carl's gonna probably go back to what, your little... just doing your sound?
The thing I won a silver for at the Sonys. Funny that, innit?
Oh, you won a silver, did you?
I got a silver, yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah,
doing,
what was that for?
doing the proper job that I do here in the week.
Well, no, it's two of you for a start.
Yeah. Well, there's three of us. Can't even get a bronze. Now, who's the weak link? Right?
Well...
Bit weird, innit?
Let's not argue. We haven't got many shows to do.
To be fair though, this show is I think it's more to do with the fact that you talk on this show that has brought us down.
Right, I haven't said anything hardly today.
No, well, this is an award-winning show, potentially.
We'll add this one in for next year.
If you could just keep stum, we might have a chance.
Alright.
Well, coming up, right. Karl.
Let's put it behind us.
Okay.
Let's draw a line under it.
Stephen co-wrote and directed The Office and Extras with me. You may have seen him in Extras as the agent. You may have seen him briefly in The Office. He is a goggle-eyed freak.
Are you referring to the character there, are you? Or?
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks.
No, well,
no, it's just a little inconvenient.
I'm just trying to paint a picture for people at Christmas.
Sure.
Steve.
Yeah. I wouldn't say goggle-eyed, I think goggle-eyed freak's harsh. You know, these are these are designer specs. And,
Right.
yeah, admittedly I'm a little bit tall, but,
6'7".
Yeah, but let's not have a go at that.
Karl, we've got more like this later. I think we should play a record. We've done introductions.
Pop a little song on.
But do you remember the first time you saw Steve?
Well, let's pop a little song on that, alright? Chat about it in a bit.
Alright. Bruce Springsteen. Bit of Bruce Springsteen. Now, it's difficult to describe Karl. I just think you'll have to get to know him over the next 2 hours. But we have taken the liberty of getting some stuff ready for you if you want to find out more about him. If you go to rickygervais.com, we've put up a special little page. Go into Who's Karl. We've got a little biography up of him and loads of pictures. And you have never seen a head rounder than he looks like Mr. Spoon from Button Moon.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Bod.
Bod
Grown
is
up.
almost like
There's a little bit of Charlie Brown in there. He's even got a little striped shirt. It's perfectly rounded. It's balding and it's not a sort of like a good balding. It's sort of like he looks like a worn tennis ball. Do you know what I mean? He's got a little bit of growth.
It's not that sort of Telly Savalas cool bald.
No, it's just a scruffy little. I don't know what it is.
Happy Christmas and that.
What do you think of that then, Karl? Your introduction to the nation.
Well, you know, if we're going to start picking on looks and stuff, like you mentioned before, we can go over everyone in this room.
What?
I mean, let's make it fair.
What?
Let's have a chat about Steve over there.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know how sort of I felt when I first saw you.
Wait, right, don't go mad, Steve. Let Karl speak. Right, this is his platform.
No, I'm just saying. You just said about painting a picture.
Yeah, go on then.
I wouldn't paint a picture of that. No, I'm not, Steve. You know I'm not having a go, mate.
What do you mean you're not having a go? It sounds like you're having a go.
No.
Well, what did you think when you first saw him, when he first walked into that room all those years ago?
Sort of thought he looked like a cartoon. No, Steve. You know, but you know that you look a little bit odd. This isn't like a shock to you. You've had this. How old are you now?
31.
Right,
but I
so
don't
you're
know.
30. What do you look like as a baby? I mean.
Why is this a character assassination?
No, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying what it was like. Now, I'm used to, you know, when I see you, I don't sort of double take anymore. I just.
He's coming out with this.
No, but you know, when you popped in and that, it was just a bit of a shock, and now, you know, I've got used to it and that.
Good, you're happy now. You can cope now.
Hold on. You were shocked when you saw Steve Merchant. You told me once you went to school with two fellas who had big heads and webbed hands and feet. And they weren't related. Why were there two people like that at your school, and yet you find Steve freaky?
You never said freaky. You said freaky. You said freaky.
Karl, it was you that worked out the maths and worked out I was 28, because they just worked out I'm 27.
You are 27.
No way.
Yeah, I asked you, didn't I? And I said...
Because, no, but what I sort of questioned was, I said, well, if you're 27 today, that means last week you were 26.
Well done, yeah. That's irrelevant. So therefore you assumed that I must be 28 then?
Yeah.
Whereas I assumed you were using, you know, your knowledge of maths,
No,
such as it is.
I wouldn't do that.
No, sure.
Wow. I actually got lost in that conversation, because I genuinely didn't know what he meant would mean last week you were 26. I don't know what that meant.
I don't know what it meant.
Wow. Well, it is Steve's birthday.
But it would have been 26 last week.
Sometimes you genuinely frighten me, because it's those staring eyes, there's nothing behind him, it's this little bald head. Looks like Davros looking at me. Genuine fear on his face when he enters into a conversation with another human being.
What bit don't you understand? If he's 27 today, he would have been 26 last week, and he doesn't look 26. He didn't look 26 last week. He looks older than 28 today.
You've started on his birthday, you're still having a go at him.
Karl, I don't look like the kind of hot stud that I actually am, but face facts, that's the truth, mate.
Yeah, live with it.
Get with the programme, jeez.
Karl, I don't want to. I'm not stirring it, right? You started a little bit of a war with Steve.
You are stirring it.
Well, no.
This is this is stirring right now. This is the terminology.
But do you know that the fellas in your school, the big heads and webbed feet and webbed hands?
Webbed hands. Yeah.
But they hung around together, did they?
I don't think they did.
And they were nothing to do with each other?
No. I think people expected them to sort of knock about together. But they must have thought, oh, that'd be too obvious. You know what I mean?
But where did you live? Near a power plant? Well, I mean, why did you have...
I don't think it had anything to do with that, though. Just sometimes you get a little... Look at Steve, he didn't live near a power plant. No.
Listen, can I just stop you there, right? Let me just stop you there, because it always happens, as soon as we, you know, it's supposed to be a nice day, and suddenly you're having a go, right? Now, this got sent on the email, okay? Now, this is not me saying this. This is someone who's forwarded a review that was put on the web. It was a review of your appearance on one of Ricky's stand-up comedy DVDs, okay? I'm quoting this. This is not me saying it. It says that, Karl, through a combination of his intriguing way of thinking and slightly less than human appearance, right, Karl may just be the proof needed to muffle the cries of creationists the world over, as this missing link demonstrates that not only did man evolve from apes, but the process isn't quite finished yet. Okay, now that's someone else, an external person's opinion of you.
But the terrible thing about that is, Karl's feelings aren't hurt because he didn't understand a word of that.
I said the word creationist, that lost him.
That's it. You've got to remember that Karl, you know when people say they're talking to their cat and they go, oh look at him, look at this, it's like he can understand what we're saying. Well, Karl's got that look, but you know he can't understand what you're saying. All right, Karl?
No, but I mean, now we're talking about your head and that, right? When you go back to, say, your mum and dad, it's Christmas time, right? There's a lot of people travelling up and down the country, going back, seeing their mum and dad, they probably haven't seen them all year, right? When you go back, is it a shock to them again? No, do you know, like, how you get used to how someone, like I say, I'm used to you, I see you a few times a week, I don't do the double take. But what I mean is, when you go back, do they sort of go, oh, here he is. You know what I mean?
Play a record.
Let's leave it then.
Let's move on then, because I'm gonna get angry, and we haven't even got. It's not even 25 past yet.
Christmas.
A little bit of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. So, what have you been doing this week, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what. At the beginning of the week, I was incredibly annoyed by Karl.
Why?
No, because I remember you had a little discussion with Karl a while back, saying that you thought he was lazy at times.
Yeah.
And you know, you had various criticisms of his work.
Yeah.
And I got a call from him. He said, oh yeah, I should have told you, I had a phone call. Someone said that they were trying to get hold of Steve Merchant to offer him some lucrative voiceover work. Now, you know...
That is money for old
It's money for old rope.
That's you're in there for about 20 minutes and it's thousands of pounds.
If there are children listening who are still at school, they should definitely, when the careers guy says, what do you want to do? Try and get voiceover work. Just become a voiceover artist. It's money for old rope.
Yeah.
So I can't believe my luck, because, you know, I love money for old rope.
Yeah.
And, I said, well, what's the information? He said, I don't know. I deleted the message. It was on his answer, and he deleted the message. I said, right, when did the message come? He said, last week. So he took a week to tell me that he had deleted the message.
Why, just because it wasn't for you?
I mean, I don't know how selfish that is, Karl.
No, what happened is, right, I got back off holiday. I was at home,
Yeah.
so I called up my voicemail,
Yeah.
right, because I can do that.
Yeah.
Remote access, right, because I've
Brilliant.
got to know what's going on at work.
Of course.
Called in, it was still my day off, I was going through the messages.
Yes.
Heard one from some company saying, we're after Steve Merchant,
Yeah.
we want him to do some voiceover work,
Yeah.
right? I can't remember the name of it, but
Thanks.
I thought, right, I'll remember to tell Steve.
A week later.
It doesn't matter, does it? You still got the message, and they
What
Yeah,
message?
but voiceovers have to be done in the next
But
couple
I
of
didn't
days.
get the message. All I got was, there was a company, I don't remember the name, and they phoned you, they wanted voiceover. How does that help me? There are hundreds of thousands of media companies.
I
You
was
didn't take
more-
down a number, you didn't take down a name, nothing.
I was more puzzled why they'd want you to voice anything.
He's having a go.
I don't know why.
No, but listen to that voice.
You must be annoyed. You must be
Do you
annoyed.
wanna, I mean, talk about rubbing salt into the wound.
No, but listen to you.
Oh, God. I don't know how you think. I don't know how your mind works.
Well, I was thinking there must be a tractor sale on somewhere.
What do I care? No, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
The
I
worm
don't
has
care.
turned.
I don't care if they want me to advertise, you know, the latest designs in pirate fashion wear. I will do a voiceover because it's money for the road. I don't care what you think of my voice. Someone was interested. They were offering me money. And you decided arbitrarily, oh, they probably wouldn't want it. They probably made a mistake. They wouldn't like the way he talks anyway. I'll delete the message.
No, the thing is, right, I
What
get
if that had been a
paid.
girl?
I get paid to sit here on a Saturday,
Yeah.
right? Play CDs and that, help out with the show, get you decent prizes. I think I do me bit,
Sure.
right? It isn't about running your voiceover work.
So hang on, so Carl, let me just get this right. If someone was ever to phone me, right, trying to get in touch with you, to offer you work, you'd want me to just ignore the message. That is what you're saying to me. You'd prefer that I deleted the message, I ignored it altogether. That's what you'd want for me to do. That's what you want me to do.
What, someone's calling you for some
Someone's
work for
phoned me. They say, oh, I can't, I don't know, I'm a friend of a friend. I've got your number, Steve. I love to use Karl Pilkington for an
Well, you've never
exciting
called me,
sex
so has it
scene.
happened?
Well, that's what I'm saying, in the future, if it was to occur, do you want me to just ignore it? Is that what you prefer me to do?
Well, it's not like that, though. I did tell you, I told you the message.
You didn't what? You told me a week later with none of the information I needed.
Carl, that doctor called last week. That kidney's ready for that, little girl that you were doing that sponsored walk for. I forgot to tell you.
Oh.
I hope it's still alright. They keep it on ice, don't they? I think they do.
Selfish, Carl. So selfish. And you lost us the same.
Beautiful bit of Snoop on XFM, yeah? Kicking it with Ricky
old
Gervais.
school, yeah,
Sweet. Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. What has happened to Karl? Because Karl, I thought, is is this sort of sweet little buffoon, almost childlike in his ways. You know what I mean? Like Charlie Brown after some sort of head injury, and now he's. And now he's coming back like that, having a go at, not caring about voiceover work. It's like, because Heat have written about him a couple of weeks, it's like he thinks he's better than you in some way.
I do care, though. You're out of order saying that, right? Because I sorted you out with tickets for stuff.
He doesn't turn up to.
Carl, I received a phone call. You deleted the message offering me voiceover work. You're as bad as my agent. I'm appalled by it. And I thought we were friends.
At least his agent, when he does it, is losing himself money as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got no comeback. You're still sweet. And to have a go at you've got a mank whine. Right?
For a voice.
Like a cartoon Gallagher brother on Coronation Street. I mean, and yes, Steve does sound like a Wurzel, but that doesn't, do you know what I mean? What about Jethro? Jethro does well. Jethro gets on Des O'Connor anytime he wants.
Just has to phone Des up.
And he's on there.
Straight on
and
there.
he's whining like a Wurzel as well. So, to say that is a rubbish...
Alright, apart from that then, what else have I done that's wound you up?
Well, that's a good starting point, because you haven't even apologised.
No, it's a shock, because that's the first time I've let you down. And I didn't really let you down, because I passed on the message.
You didn't. Well, we've been through it. You didn't pass on the message. Saying I deleted a message for you is not passing on the message. I mean, I just think what's happened is that you've got a little bit of celebrity now from the show. I mean, I've seen you being recognised in pubs and stuff, or people have come up and they said, are you Karl? Because they've seen Ricky. Now, it just seems to me that you are not keeping yourself grounded. You are just, you cannot deal with fame. You've not got the intelligence to cope with the celebrity, and you're just becoming this kind of ego-driven monster.
Now it's getting.
It scares me, Karl. You're not the man I remember.
Getting a bit nice.
I put a lot of work into this on Saturday. This isn't even my proper job, right? Where were you in the week?
Oh, yeah, he's got you there.
What?
Where were you in the week? I said, let's meet up, let's, come up with some new features and that. Where were you?
Carl, you phoned me about an hour before you wanted to meet. That is not what I would call. I mean, that is arrogance right there.
That's the way I work.
That's arrogance right there. That's ego right there.
He couldn't go, when I came in, he said, where's Steve? I said, Steve can't make it. I had to tell him why. Steve was staying in to tidy up because his landlady was coming. This he couldn't get over. He could not get over that you couldn't make it because you had to stay in with your landlady. He talked about it for about the hour when we were working.
What are you talking? Last week I had a bad throat. You wouldn't tolerate that. You wouldn't accept that.
When you had a bad throat, where were you? Why couldn't we do any work then? Because you're at home with your mum and your dad.
You were on holiday, weren't you?
Why didn't you get your mum and your dad to clean the flat?
Oh, he's done it again! He's done you again, mate. Play a record.
How has he done me? What? They live in Bristol.
Yeah, the joke's on you. He couldn't get him to clean the flat. Ah.
I don't know who's laughing at who now.
Right, listen.
Can we just go back to laughing at Karl?
Okay.
Because I know where we stand there.
Okay, alright.
Do you want to,
That's the natural order of things.
I know, yeah.
The world's gone topsy-turvy.
he's stepped out of the pecking order.
Right, well, someone who I don't let down, right, are the listeners of this show. Do you want to, read out the prizes for Rockbusters? We'll get that running.
Are we not doing Rockbusters again, are we?
Yeah.
Well, it was a shambles last week. We cancelled it 2 weeks ago. What?
I mean, there you are right there, Rick. I mean, both you and I, and let's be honest, we're the guys with our names on the poster.
I know,
It's supposed to be your show. And
our faces.
Exactly, and yet...
we have to be on tube stations with people laughing at us.
Yeah, well, they're not laughing at me, right? They're
Wow,
saying
I don't know. What do you think people think of the poster, Karl? Seriously?
No, I don't want to know his opinion. It's just going to be insulting. My point is this, Rick.
He was looking at you.
My point is this, Rick. We used to be able to decide what the content of this show was.
I know.
Now, it's him. It's just him. He wants to do Rockbusters, he gets to do it.
I know. And it's awful, but like Tourette's Trent D'Arby. Not only is that offensive, it doesn't work as a clue.
Saying that, have you come up with anything for this week?
What's the prizes?
I'll read out the prizes.